In this video, guys, we're going to be bringing you blind smell reactions to first impressions on 3 Game of Spades fragrances. So Game of Spades is one of those fragrance brands really that has been one of my favorite discoveries in 2025. I have 3 fragrances that we're going to be reviewing today. Let's get right into it. So number 1, and our first and foremost fragrance that we're going to be smelling today, this is going to be called Game of Spades Bid. Okay, now Game of Spades Bid is a fragrance that's going to have inspirations of Le Labo's Santal 33. So as always, we're going to go through our full blind smell reactions. We're going to see how this one compares. We're going to test the scent quality. Definitely Game of Spades has been one of the more goated and one of the more accurate dupe fragrance brands, but let's get into this one and we'll see what we get. All right, got it unwrapped. Like the box, like the presentation. Boom, we take it out. Very nice, nice green look. So it looks a little bit like Game of Spades Wind and Game of Spades Emerald. It doesn't have, as we pull it out the box. All right, really nice green, sort of lime green, if you will. Look to it, nice evergreen, and then you have the light green on the box. So as far as presentation, they stick with the same Game of Spades bottle and box. All right, so we have the look. Now we get into the actual smell. Don't pick up anything off the cap, so this one's pretty well sealed. Some of the main notes that we're gonna be getting in this one, we're gonna get some iris, we're gonna get cedarwood, we're gonna get some cardamom, we're gonna get ambroxan as well. So really nice, spicy, fresh, little floral fragrance, and that is gonna be consistent with that Le Labo Santal 33. As always, let's get right into it. We got the fragrance. We go through our blind smell test. Nice pressurized atomizer. Okay, this one smells like you definitely can pick up on that Santal 33 DNA. Now this one is a little bit less citrusy and a little bit more green just off the opening. It's got a, yeah, you're not picking so much on like a strong bergamot or strong fruits. It's way more on that fresh spicy, that fresh green. You're picking up way more on the florals. But as far as accuracy is concerned off the opening, I would say about 80%. It's definitely not a one-to-one of like Le Labo 33. You could definitely tell that was the fragrance that gave this fragrance inspiration, right? If you think Santal 33 is a little bit too much on the citruses and you want a little bit more on the florals, a little bit more on the green nature, this one's definitely going to be the one for you. Off the opening though, I really do like it, honestly. It's a really nice fragrance, really nice, invigorating. Really, I would imagine that you would wear this fragrance for a sunnier day. Maybe spring is the ballpark, even fall, spring, daytime, sun is out, but it's not overly hot, it's not overly warm. You know, I'm looking at weather that is about 60 to 75 degrees. It's kind of the ballpark of this fragrance. Definitely this is going to be a really good one for spring. Nice sillage in the air, nice opening, nice projection with the ambroxan. So I do like the fragrance, not one-to-one quite. A little bit more on the fresh floors, a little bit more on the fresh greens, but still definitely you could tell this one picks up inspiration from Santal 33. Really nice opening. We're gonna test it off the strip. We're gonna get 3 on the strip. We're gonna let that sit down, and while we let that sit down, we're actually going to go ahead and we will move on to the second fragrance, and then we'll come back and we'll test all 3 off the mid, okay? And we'll do that, and that'll be how today will run. Second fragrance we have up on deck that we got from Game of Spades is we're gonna get into this one right here. This is called Game of Spades, and this is King. All right. Now, Game of Spades King is gonna be a fragrance that really is an inspiration from Xerjoff's Herba Pura, right? Even Al Haramain Amber Oud Gold. Now, recently I got my hands on Game of Spades Jackpot, and Jackpot was supposed to be the fragrance that reminded you of Mancera's Instant Crush, but in my opinion, in my nose, having it for a week, that one gives me semblances of Al Haramain's Amber Oud Private Edition more so than Instant Crush, but this is supposed to be the fragrance that really is that one-to-one dupe of Herba Pura. So as always, let's get right into it. We're gonna unwrap. Got her unwrapped. Nice black box with the gold emblem. All right, they went with the all gold bottle just like they did with Jackpot though. Okay, so take this out. All right, nice gold bottle with this one. All right, so I like the presentation, like the look. It does remind me a little bit of Jackpot, so maybe there we have some similarities here. You can definitely smell the fruits. You can definitely smell the fruits off of the bottle. This one is really good. Okay, all right. Now let's get the blind smell reaction in the air and let's see how this one fares. Oh yeah, that is good. That is good, and that's really accurate too. That's a 1-to-1 at least off the opening, right? I have Zherzhov Herbapur, I have Al Haramain, Amber Rouge Gold. That same really nice, bright, fruity, citrusy, sweet opening though that you would get with Herbapur. This is 1-to-1, so definitely this one hits the nail on the head as far as what it's trying to hit. This is 90 to 95% at least off the opening. Really nice, really vibrant. You're picking up on that orange, that lemon, that bergamot. You're picking up on that fruity notes, and then you also, I can smell that musky nature, that musky dry down as it's settling down, and you're picking up on that vanillic sweetness, that same Herbapur DNA. So that is very accurate. Take the cap off. We'll get this one off of the tester strip, and we'll let this sit down. We'll show you guys the third and final fragrance. Nice pressurized atomizer on this one as well too. So there we go. We got that one. We're 2 for 2. Let those sit down, and then we'll test the dry downs. All right, and we'll get into the third and final fragrance for today. All right, third and final fragrance. This one I was more so hesitant, not because I didn't want the fragrance, but it was, I have other clones and other dupes, and this fragrance DNA is like, do I really need another one of it? But I was out with my friend, we checked out our new local shop here, and it was time to pull the trigger on this one. So the fragrance here, the third and final fragrance we're gonna be trying out is this one here. This one is called Game of Spades Rouge. So we know what this is going to be. This is going to be their take on Baccarat Rouge 540, that DNA. And one thing about Baccarat Rouge 540, for many fragrance collectors, Baccarat Rouge may be a fragrance that, you know, is a little bit played out, a little redundant for some people. You know, do I really like Baccarat Rouge? A lot of people don't like that fragrance anymore, not because it's not a good scent, but more so because there's so many dupes. The price tag of BR 540 more so turns people off than the actual smell not being good. But with all the various dupes, and with women still saying that they love that fragrance, women love it both on themselves and on men. If it pulls you compliments and it's liked and it's tried and tested and it's proven, then it doesn't hurt to have more BR 540 clones in your collection. But as always, let's get this one unwrapped. Right, simple, easy unwrapping. We unbox it. All right, they went with that nice crimson red. Went with that same Game of Spades look. Take it out the box. So I mean, as far as presentation and box design, I mean, they're all gonna keep the same thing. They're all gonna keep that same Game of Spades boxing, right? And they're gonna keep the same Game of Spades ball design, right? Same look as you would get with King and with Bid, for that matter, right? But they went with this crimson red. They also have the logo on the cap. They have the logo on all three caps here. So I mean, I really like what they do with the presentation on these fragrances. You don't pick up anything, so really tightly sealed, really well sealed. Now let's see how this one fares. The Rouge, you're gonna be getting that jasmine, bergamot, and lavender. You're gonna get some of those in the opening. Get that ambergris. You're gonna get some woods, and you're gonna get some musk in the base. So that typical BR 540 DNA. Let's go ahead and test this off the opening, see how this one is. Nice pressurized atomizer. Oh yeah, there you go, Baccarat Rouge. I mean, you really can't beat it. You really can't beat it. Like, yep, as soon as my nose got onto it, you could definitely tell Baccarat Rouge. So definitely really nice, really accurate, really nice quality too. It doesn't smell synthetic either, right? Some Baccarat Rouge clones can smell a little bit synthetic, a little bit played out, a little too much one thing or the other. But I mean, this one is done really well, really nicely, really vibrantly. This one's not gonna choke you out either, right? This one is done really simply. You're picking up on that jasmine, you're picking up on that lavender. The citruses, the bergamot is not overly done, right? And then you're definitely picking up on that warm amber. You're picking up on that musky undertone too. You're getting that little bit of woods in here. So I mean, a really nice, simple DNA. All right, we'll get this one off the tester strip, and we'll let this one, 2, 3, boom. We'll give it some time to sit down. All right, well, we got all three openings. We got all three openings done and accounted for. All three off their openings definitely were pretty accurate as far as the fragrances that they were trying to emulate, right? All three had really nice, vibrant openings, really nice scent qualities to them. So now that we've let all three sit down, we're gonna give them a chance, and then we're gonna see how they are off the strip. Then we're gonna also test them off the skin. Here we go. All right, so we're back at the top, and we're gonna be looking at Game of Spades Bid. This is the Santal 33 clone. We got the tester strip. We've given it some time to settle down. Let's see what we get. You're picking up a lot on that violet. You're picking up on that cardamom, that iris. A little bit of a leather accord in here, which is a little bit different from Santal 33. Remember, Santal 33 for me and for many people is a little bit more citrus heavy, a little bit more vibrant. This one's a little bit more soft, a little bit more subtle, and it's a little bit more heavy leaning on the floral. So if you like that component, if you like those type of fresh, clean fragrances, then this is going to be one for you. This one doesn't have that strong-ish projection. This one I would say is a medium to good strong projection. Definitely you're going to have a nice sillage with this one. If you like that sandalwood and cedar, you like those woodsy notes being really pronounced on the dry down, you're definitely picking up on this. But nonetheless, overall, I would say that this one is going to give about 80-85% Santal 33. Santal 33, because of how much it leans into that really strong citrusy bergamot, I would say that that's the key difference with this one. The opening is really floral, really green. Then the dry down off of the strip, at least, is going to lean more so into the florals, and the citruses are a little bit more subdued. But it's still a great fragrance. I still do quite like it and quite enjoy it. All right, sprayed it on skin, so we're going to let that settle down too off the skin while we test the other fragrances. Here we go. And we're going to test out fragrance number 2. Now we're back at the top, and we're back with Game of Spades King, the second fragrance. This one is the Herba Pura cologne. Herba Pura, and this one is gonna have that orange, that bergamot. You're gonna get that fruity notes, and then you're gonna get that vanilla and musk. Here we go off the strip. Yep, vanilla, musk, fruits. So it took so the orange is really pronounced in the opening, and then it's a little bit more subdued as it gets to the mid and the dry down. You're definitely picking up on that vanilla and musk and that fruity accord. As far as accuracy, 90-95%. I mean, this is essentially Herba Pura for $60. So as far as accuracy, as far as scent quality and projection, this one is really good. A little bit softer, a little bit not nearly as loud, right, as the original Herba Pura, but still a great fragrance DNA. And women really love this fragrance DNA, fellas, right? So if this is a fragrance you're thinking about getting, maybe you don't want to spend $230 to $300 on Herba Pura. You don't want to get Amber Oud Gold because maybe it's a little bit spicier. This is definitely a good option for you. Definitely another one I put the stamp of approval on. All right, and then third and final fragrance we spray, we got Game of Spades Rouge. This is Baccarat Rouge 540. Yep, no hesitation. Baccarat Rouge 540. Nice jasmine, nice lavender, nice amber and woods, and then you get that musk as well, right? This one's a little bit softer. It's not nearly as sweet, especially as it settles down. The original Baccarat Rouge 540, when you spray it on skin, on clothes, it's definitely got a sweetness to it. This one is, and it's got a little bit more saffron, the original 540. This one is gonna be more leaning into the amber, the warm amber, so it's a little bit warm, a little bit more subtle, and then it's got a little bit more of that musky accord to it. But still, all I'm saying, all of these great, inspired by, great dupes. These ones all are a little bit softer as far as the projection, and as far as just the quality. These ones are going to be a little bit more intimate in my opinion, but still, nonetheless, these are all great fragrances. Last thing we got to do for each one, we're going to do the skin test. So we put one on one forearm, we put bit on the left forearm, we put king on the right forearm, and we're going to come up on the bicep here, and we're going to put Rouge on the left bicep. All right. And that will come back in about 2 minutes. Let them settle down a little bit, and then we'll test all of them off the skin. All right, here we go. We're gonna test bit off the skin. Yep, 3 for 3. Definitely really nice green Santal 33 version. Really nice, stamp of approval. That one is a dub. So we got bid is a dub, boom. All right, we'll go here, we'll come back for king. And we'll see how this one fares. Yep, 3 for 3. So again, no phase really was a letdown. I mean, everything from opening to finish has been great. So 2 for 2. Bid was a dub, king was a dub, and now we test out Rouge. Yep, there you go, guys. 3 for 3. Yep, got the hat trick going. All right, there we go, guys. So if we recap it, we have 3 fragrances we tried out today. Boom, boom, and boom. There we go. So if you want Santal 33, you're gonna go with this one here, Game of Spades Bid. All right. You want Zerjov Herba Pura, you're gonna come with this one here, Game of Spades King. And if you want Baccarat Rouge for a fraction of the price, you're gonna come with this one here. This one is Game of Spades Rouge. All right, there you go, guys. Those are 3 of the new Game of Spades editions we've added to collection. First impressions done and accounted for. Let me know how you guys like the triple first impressions, whether you guys like, you know, multiple fragrances being reviewed, something different. But I just figured they're all from the same brand. We can kind of knock out a couple birds with one stone, and we can get these out into the masses, into the market. We can start battling them sooner than later instead of having to do one at a time. As always, guys, I appreciate all you guys who listen and tune in. If you found this video helpful, make sure you hit the subscribe and the follow button to get notified anytime I drop any new fragrance content. You can also join the memberships tab, and as well as drop supers in the chat anytime you get the chance to. Let me know what other Game of Spades fragrances I haven't tried yet that I need to get my hands on. We'll get them done and accounted for you. As always, guys, appreciate you. Have a good day. Much love.